As you all know, Kuwait's National Library is the biggest library in Kuwait, and you can read a lot of informations. So come on with us so we can learn and read more informations.
Hello everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to be reading to you this book. Its name is Puss in Boots, and I really love this book because it's a very witty book and a lot famous too. And it also reminds me a bit of my childhood. I really used to love that time.
Actually, I can see on the cover like a cat wearing boots. So
Yeah, like Puss in Boots.
Puss is like the name of the cat.
I know, and its feet are like too big.
Yeah.
Cat is puss. You know what we said, pussy cat.
Yeah.
Puss.
So let's get started. Once upon a time, there was an old man. He was a miller and he had 3 sons. So I guess he owned a mill. One day he called his sons. I am old now, he said. Listen to me. I'm your father. Then he said to his first son, I will give you the mill, since you have first preference, as you are my first son. Then to his second son, he said, I'll give you my donkey because it's my second most precious possession. Then, sadly, he said to his third son, My son, I can only give you this cat. But what the old man didn't know was that this cat was actually a really special cat. But how, you ask? Let's see. Hello, young master, said the cat. I can talk. And what's more, I can help you. Wait, this cat can talk. So it's actually more prized than the mill or the donkey.
I know.
Yeah.
Magic, fairy transformation.
It's like a cat that is turned in a person that's turned into a cat.
No.
Just like Tiana's story.
Of the what if at the end the climax of the story is that
Maybe
the
it
cat
gets
was
turned into
enchanted?
Yeah. So, like, I'm also really surprised that this cat can actually talk, and
He's
like
got
all
a
of
nice
us,
hat.
yeah, like all of us, the young man was also really surprised. Quick, said the cat, get me a large sack and a pair of boots, and oh, a big hat. I really love big hats. He's really fashionable.
How do cats love big hats?
That's why he's a special cat and he can talk.
And he's a smart cat.
But because the hat is bigger than the cats.
For the cat, it should be a big hat.
So now
Yeah.
the young man said, Okay, so since you like boots and hats, I'll call you Puss in Boots. So now Puss in Boots put some nice green lettuce into the sack. Bye-bye, see you soon, he said to his young master. Soon he came to a wood, his destination. He opened the sack and waited really quietly. After a few minutes, a big fat rabbit came. It began to eat the nice green leaves. It was
No
really
offense,
hungry.
But it's
What
like he
hap-
shoved up carrots.
What
Yeah.
happened to the cat?
It was staying hidden, actually.
His hat is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like those noblemen.
I know.
They have the
Yeah.
big feathers and
I
all
know.
that.
So Puss in Boots jumped up and closed the sack very quickly as soon as the rabbit jumped inside to eat the lettuce. It was trapped. Then Puss in Boots went to a royal palace. But why would he go to a royal palace though?
Maybe the rabbits went inside the palace.
The king wants to eat a
Maybe
rabbit.
he wants to offer himself as a pet.
Hey king, I am a very special cat who can talk and you won't see me anywhere else in the world.
And I
Would you
can
like to
learn.
adopt me?
Yeah, and he'll say, oh, and I can hunt. I have a present for the king, he said really pompously and importantly to the guards. It's from my master, the Marquis of Carabas. He gave this name just on the spur of a moment, but soon it stuck. Your Majesty, said the Puss in Boots, I have a present for you. It's from my master, the Marquis of Carabas. Puss opened the sack, and a big fat rabbit jumped out, and Just to mention, it became that fat because it had all those lettuces inside. The king was really pleased because he loved to have rabbit. For dinner?
Wow. I prefer them for lunch.
Why?
Because he prefers them. I mean, I don't prefer them at all. No,
I know.
I've never tasted.
Guys, actually, there's an Egyptian food that actually has rabbits inside.
Do you know there's Japanese food where they eat fungi?
Go to your master, said the king, and say thank you. The cat was kind of expecting a reward, but it didn't back down. The next day, Puss in Boots caught 2 big, fat birds. He took them to a king. A present once again from the Marquis of Carabas. He said, every day he bought birds or rabbits or even hunted them and took them to a king. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, the king said 1,000,000 times. Your master, the Marquis, is indeed really kind. Here, take these gold coins. They're for you and for your master.
Guys, he has no shoes here.
Yeah, maybe the cat didn't give the gold coins to master.
Maybe he likes the soft grass. I mean, we all like grasses.
Or maybe Puss bought himself a new hat.
I like to remove my shoes and walk barefoot in grass. I don't like shoes.
Grass is actually really soft.
Like a mat.
Yeah.
But like if you go to a football pitch, the grass it has like black rocks.
Those are not grass. That is some artificial turf.
Yeah.
They call it.
Yeah.
That's some artificial
So it
stuff.
can help them run.
Have you seen like in some tennis matches after playing, the people get so tired they just pluck the grass from the ground. And
I know,
eat
they
it.
just chew it up.
Exactly.
And they just stepped on it.
Where's the sense?
Hey, our discussion just went from him being barefoot to football and tennis
And eating
courts. Okay, so let's continue. One day, Puss and his young master were beside a river. Suddenly, they saw the king's coach approaching, and the princess was inside. Quick, said Puss in Boots, take off your clothes and jump into the river. But I can't swim, the young man stuttered. Puss shot a glare at him. The young man then understood what was going on. He took off his clothes and went into the water. Quickly, Puss took the clothes and he hid them under a rock. Help! Help! He cried. The king's coach heard this and he stopped. The king ordered his guards to go and save the man. And 2 guards ran to the side of the river and pulled him out. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, your majesty, Puss said. My poor master. 3 men attacked him. They took all his money and clothes and threw him into the river. Guards, said the king, quickly go to a palace and bring new clothes for the Marquis of Carabas. The guards went to a palace and within minutes they were back with the new clothes. Now the young man put them on. Suddenly he actually became the Marquis of Carabas. This is my daughter, the king introduced. Come with us. We'll take you home. Now the young man was wondering, what would the king say when he saw his humble hut? But Puss in Boots yet again had a plan. The young man sat in the coach. He looked at the princess and smiled. You're beautiful, he thought. And the princess looked at him and smiled. What a handsome man, she thought. Now, Puss was privately very pleased, and he began to lead the coach forward. He had another idea. He saw 2 men in a field. Listen, he said. The king is coming today. He loves to talk to his people, and he might even reward them. Please say to him, all of these fields belong to a Marquis of Carabas. I will give you 1 gold coin. A gold coin? Because for the laborers, this was actually a really big amount. A gold coin, said the men in wonder, thinking that this was a really rich cat. I mean, of course he was because he had a hat. And then they said, yes, we will say that. Puss went to another field and then another. he always said the same thing. The king likes to talk to his people. Please say that these fields belong to a Marquis of Carabas. And soon, the king's coach passed by. And he stopped to talk to a man, as Puss said. And they said, these fields belong to a Marquis of Carabas. At every field, the men said this. And the king thought privately, the Marquis of Carabas is really rich. Soon, Puss came to a big castle. It belonged to a terrible ogre. And who are you? The ogre roared. I'm Puss in Boots, and you're really famous. I hear you can turn yourself into anything. Of course I am. And he said, let me show you. He turned himself into a mouse. Of course, this was what Puss was waiting for. He pounced on the mouse because he was a cat and he ate it up. Now, he went and said to the king, welcome, your majesty. Welcome to the castle of the Marquis of Carabas. What a wonderful castle. Well, of course, there became a good alliance between the Marquis of Carabas and the king. And of course, his daughter and the man became extremely good friends, and Puss became a royal cat. So I hope you guys liked the story, and we'll be back after a short break to discuss the story. Stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers. So we're back to discuss the story. So tell me, Rima, what do you think of this story?
Well, in the story, we saw that each and every little thing has a value. For example, the eldest son got a mill and the next one got a donkey. And the father as well, when he gave the cat to a younger son, he felt really sad that, okay, the cat has no value. But here we see that the cat made the youngest son the richest one of all.
So Ritaj, what do you think of the story?
Well, I think that the story was amazing, but I can see that the story is fiction. But not because the cat is talking, I think because that actually animals don't have like brains that they can't think of. And like, yeah, and actually I can see that not only humans can be rich, even cats can be rich.
Yeah,
He's got a good hat.
I know. So I hope you guys liked this story, and we'll be back with many more stories. And always remember, reading is the mind what exercises the body, because our body needs exercise and our mind also requires reading to remain sharp. So happy